All right. Now, the other way to spell my name is just SHN with an E. And that's Shane, right? That's how you pronounce it. And it means ivory. Ha Shane means the ivory. Or to ivory, I don't know. But it has two dots, right, under the sheen, right, and a noon, right, at the end, right. So that's my name too, Ivory. Ivory. That's what it means, I know. And it too is in the Bible, silly. I'm just Ivory. You can call me Ivory. And that's just the simplest way to spell it without no complications, right? And the way they use vowel points is different than us, but that's SHEN, right? And it sounds like Shane, right? When you say it, or ha Shane, right? You've been saying my name without even knowing it. Ivory. Me too. All right. So, the Shaddai, right? Now, like I said, like El Shaddai, the difference is, right? You can even go to Job's to see Shaddai, right? Right. I don't know. Is similar, like Schofield said it was, see? Now, a witness, right? Between me and Schofield, right? We're two witnesses seeing something similar, right? But men, right? Who are carnally minded, right? Not spiritually minded, right? Are denying this. And that's their problem, right? God don't see itself as two separate beings like we are. It's one, right? We're both in it, right? And we have a problem with that. Let me see. Not it. Now, Shaddai, though the D is doubled, right? The AY is like with the word I just showed you in Song of Solomon, right? Right. So, again, Shadim is breast, right? Right. And Shaddai is what? Breast enough, right? Now, it's also talking about her before she even gets her breast, huh? Yeah. This is not, again, right, a developing woman. Yes. Now, I don't go after women that way, or young girls, or young ladies, whatever you want to call them, right? But some want to accuse me of it, right? And, Now, another word is lusty, or lacy, or lusty, or lusty, lusty, and that is the word for doors, right? Plural, plural. Right. As they are, right? Whoa. Now, there's another way to spell it, which is PHITHEY. So that's Pitha. Hey. And Gates is Sha A Reem. Now, when there's more than one meaning, right, to more than one word, right, they're trying to tell you something as well with those words, right? And let's see what they use in Genesis, right? When the men of Sodom beat on the door, now the Ya Ba Ka U Shani Ha Mela A King Mud Do Ma Ka Ret I guess. Rick. The Lot, right, which is a lot. Right. Yeah. Sheeb. Ka. Sha. R. R. At the gates of Sodom. Sodom. Now, this is the Samic, right, where you get the name Joseph from, right? Yes, Yosef, right? So, as safe, dome, right? The nay, the all, e, o, Tom, so here the door is ha, p, ta, ka. Vaha de lot. He closed behind him, right? Right. So it spells it both ways here. I don't know if. It's because both apply. So again, if there's two different spellings though for the word door, and the woman's womb acts as a doorway into the earth, right, through sex or surrogacy, even, right, like the scientists do today. God could form his son and daughter as an embryo in the womb of the Virgin Mary and her carry him for 9 months without breaching her virginity. How might you say she is alive, right? Now, doctors still have to either use some kind of needle to get past her hymen, right? Like Jane the Virgin or whatever. In that crazy story, right? But it would be an outside source acting as both father and mother, fool, to Jesus. It acted as both. Yes, alone, without help from man. And Mary is no more its mother. Right. She didn't conceive by her egg joining with God's sperm. Right. The child was put into her without sex. Right. Now, whoever Gabriel is, right, like I said, unless she herself is a true hermaphrodite and impregnated herself, which they can do that, right? Only two ways, so a woman can have a child without knowing a man, right? One way, if she herself is a hermaphrodite, and an earthworm only produces an earthworm. Right. An earthworm can't produce a snail, even though both are hermaphroditic. Nor can a snail produce an earthworm, right? But a hermaphrodite can produce a hermaphrodite as well, without having sex, right? It has its own sperm and egg, right? That's the only other way she can do it. And that's what I'm telling you, right? Now, either someone in the city was named Gabriel, and he knew what Mary was and talked Joseph into marrying her anyway, right? Even though she got pregnant without sex with men, right? Because she was both, right? It's the only two ways you can see it, by the way. And them not stone her as well. Because she couldn't help it. She didn't know what she was, right? I know. And see, even sperm outside the body, if you put it down there, and the penis, right, of the hermaphrodite and the vagina, right, are below one another. One's above, one's below. And the vagina is underneath the penis, right? Not trying to get graphic with you, but this, again, is what I've seen of them, right? But the only place you can see them is pornos. Sorry. That's still research. That's not to watch two hermaphrodites having sex. It's just to see how they do it without condemning the act, right? Which is what Jesus means too, right? But you mean we can't judge anything? Yes. Quit judging. You're sending yourselves to hell. If you condemn others, you can't even look upon a woman with lust. You've done committed it in your heart. If you judge others, right? If you forgive us our transgressions against the law, you can be forgiving of your own trespasses, right? But does that mean we sin the more, right? No one intentionally sins. And usually you have to have someone to sin with you too. One way or the other, right? Now, you're trying to keep me in my house. You can't do that. That ain't your right. I don't hurt people. You do. You do. You can't call the police on me just because I go to eat breakfast at the Huddle House. I'm not doing nothing wrong. I have my license. I have my insurance. I drive the speed limit. I drive fine with other people. And you cannot prank call the police. Like you're going to do something wrong. Right. You're doing something to where I don't know what happened, right? When I went to the Huddle House this morning. And again, right, I'm watching my time, right? And I'm trying to figure out why I'm losing 10 minutes just to eat a damn waffle, which only should take me a few minutes to eat, right? And I know I did nothing wrong either. No, you can't, right? You can't come up here and I'm not committing a crime, right? And act like I'm committing a crime when I'm not, right? You can't even arrest me for a false charge, right? When if I really did something, they're not going to wait till the day after to arrest me. They're going to try to arrest me the night of, right? And if I'm home alone, right, that does give me an alibi. I live alone. Yeah, with nobody else. You know, when I live alone, I prefer to be by myself. Right? I'm not bothering you home alone. Only one who can is someone who comes over and they have to explain what they are doing over there, right? And all I can do is try to figure out what to do with them if they do, right? That's still not saying I know that happened, because I don't, right? That's a hypothetical, not proving nothing did or didn't happen, right? And I lived here before, asshole. I was born here, right? And like you, I was born an original sinner. I was born in original sin. If I had $1 bill for all the things I've done, there'll be a mountain of money piled up to my chin. I know. I ain't better than you, but I know more than you. That helps. I know. Whether you believe it or not. I do. Mm-hmm. So again, right, how can there be two ways to spell door, right? Right. Anyway. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. My job is to agree with the Bible, not you, even if we disagree with the Bible. Mm-hmm. I can't choose you over the Bible. Mm-hmm. And that's anyone. Even not a man or a woman. Elohim, right? L-O-I, or U-I. Mm-hmm. Ah, right. Elohim, or Kim. Mm-hmm. Or Kim. El-He, El-Ba, Elohinu, Eli, Yah. Ah. El-He. For some reason I have Ta. Mm-hmm. And Elohim. He knew. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gadur. Mm-hmm. Ta'a. Mm-hmm. Is the mistresses, right? Gabor. Mm-hmm. Ish and Yoda. Mm-hmm. Is the name of the three things God is as, right? Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. Shagaa. Mm-hmm. Well, it says Ka'a. Mm-hmm. Is also a maiden to the hand of the mistress, right? So our eyes wait on Jehovah, our God, right? Mm-hmm. Now they say he knew, right? I say he knew, right? Why? I don't know. Hey ain't a Hebrew word. He is. But they're sinning. They're denying. And it's their fault they're denying, not God's, right? So you deny God, it will not deny itself. They also do Adonai, as well as Sha'el, La Elhi, or Lay Elhi, or Lay Elhinu, right? And Ha El and Ha Elohim, right? Now let's see what word they use for the correct breast, right? He shall lie between my breast is Maston, right? So that's one of the ways to spell it, right? And in the Hebrew, it's Shad, A, or Sha, Day. Either way. Then in 4-5, it's used again, right? Though it's kind of weird, after talking about 90 men, it says, to your breast. Are like two fawns, right? Twins of a gazelle, feeding among the lilies, right? Until wind blows the day, and flee the shadows, right? I will myself to the mountains of myrrh, to the hills of frankincense. You are all beautiful, my love, and a blemish is not on you. With me from Lebanon, my spouse with me from Lebanon comes. Now, is this her talking to him or him to her? We don't know. We don't know. It's kind of ambiguous, right? But the word is still Shaddai. In chapter 4, verse 5, right? And here it's spelled Mastoi, right? Right. Now, unlike in the Greek Song of Solomon, right? It's only used once here. So again, it's not used again until 7:3, where it's again Shaw, Da'i, Ik, right? Or Yik, right? So Shah, Da, Day, right? Yik, right? I guess, right? Those are the vowel points anyway. Shal, Da, Yik. Because it has an I under the Y, which makes it an I, right? Has a dot there, right? That's not a period, right? And then it has what looks to be a semicolon and a dash under the D and the upside down hat, which makes the ah sound, right? As in Saul, Saul, S-A-W, or Saul, S-A-U-L, right? Y'all, the Boath, right? Is a play on Hebrew words as well. Yahuwah. His divine name is the divine name, right? Well, let's see. Now, breast is used 2 more times, but it's also spelled mastoi, right? For both times. Thy breast, my sister, my spouse, right? How much more beautiful are thy breasts, right? Than wine, and the smell of thy garments than all spices, right? And they're spelled Mastoi. So is this the female or the male? The female. The female. And stubborn is as stubborn does, right? Not just stupid is, but stubborn is. Right. So the first word is mastui, again, right? Mastoi. And here it says, thy 2 breasts are as 2 twin fawns. Thy neck is as an ivory tower. And I'm ivory. Then it's at 7:7 again, right? Though this one, I think, and 7:8, but it has more references to breast again, right? I don't know. I think at least one more. And yep. Now, the two other references are in verse 7 and 8, and it's spelled here M-O-S-T-O-I, M-A-S-T-O-I, right. This is thy greatness. In thy delight thou wast made like a palm tree, and thy breast to clusters. And this is T-O, not T-W-O. I said I will go up to the palm tree. I will take hold of its high boughs. And now shall thy breast be as clusters of the vine, right? And the smell of thy nose as apples, and thy throat as good wine, going well with my kinsman. So this is her talking, right? Suiting my lips and teeth. Now, if that don't sound like she's being fantasy as well, talking about her own body, when her lover ain't around, and having to wait for him patiently, right? I don't know what else is, right? Now, there's one more reference, right? But here, Mastous, right? M-A-S-T-O-U-S is used, right? And let's see, if the pomegranates have blossomed, there will I give thee my breast. The mandrake have given a smell, and at our doors are all kinds of choice fruits. Now, new and old, right? My kinsmen, right? I have kept them for thee. So, again, who's she talking to? Who's her kinsman? Who does she want to make her kinsman? Solomon, right? And that's Mastous, meaning both breasts, right? Probably, I guess, right? I don't know. Do you know? So, again, she says something strange. I would that thou, O my kinsman, wert he that sucked the breast of my mother. Right. Well, what's he talking about? But still, it's Mastous, right? M-A-S-T-O-U-S, that she's talking about here. When I found thee without, I would kiss thee, yea, they should not despise me. I would take thee, I would bring thee into my mother's house, and into the chamber of her that conceived me, right? I would make thee to drink of spiced wine, of the juice of my pomegranates. What? What? That sounds like a metaphor for something she wants him to suck on. I don't know what. Do you? Anyway, and it kind of reads the same in the Hebrew. Right. Who can give you to me as my brother? Who sucked the breast of my mother? When I find you outside, I would kiss you. They also would not despise me. I would lead you, I would bring you into my mother's house. You would teach me, I would cause you to drink the spiced wine from the juice of my pomegranates. Right. His left hand would be under my head, and his right hand embracing me. I adjure you, O daughters of Jerusalem, why should you stir up, or why should you awaken my love until it pleases? Who is this that cometh up from the wilderness, leaning on her beloved? I awakened you under the apple tree. There your mother travailed with you. There she travailed, she bore you. Set me as a seal on your heart, as a seal on your arm, for love is strong as death. Jealousy is cruel and Sheol, or death again, right? Why you did death twice? I know. Cause both times is as Sheol, right? Right. I think, right? No, it's not, right? Death was like Ka, Ma, Uth, or Eth. It's got 3 dots under it. And the reverse C, whatever you want to call it. So that's Ka, Ma, either Voot, or Vate, or Vaith. I don't know. I'm not sure, right? Ah, Ha, Ba, for love. Ka, Sha, Ah, is cruel. Ki, Sha'ol, is Sheol, or death again, right? Or the grave, right? Fa, or Ka, Ki, Nay, Na, Ah, is jealousy, I guess. I don't know. Ra, Sha, P, Ah, is flames. H is fire. Sha, Ba, He, Ba, Pa, Ya. A flame of Jehovah. Right. And here, Yah, is spelled how I tried to spell it. mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In the Hebrew. Y-A-H. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Many waters cannot quench love, nor will the rivers overflow if a man would give all the wealth of his house for love. They surely would despise him. We have a little sister, and she has no breast. This here is, again, Shadim, right? mm-hmm. Which means both. Mm-hmm. What shall we do for our sister in the day in which she shall be spoken for? That's again an engagement between her father and the father of the male, right? Agreeing that their children will be married when they are older. Now, with Joseph and Mary, it would be the same way. Mm-hmm. Joseph's father would go to Mary's father saying, I think my son Joseph is interested in your daughter Mary and should be married, right? And he would agree, right? And they had a year engagement back then, right? Now, Moses never said, though, they couldn't, during the engagement, sleep together or not, right? Either, right? Judge not, though, whether they did or not, right? That's all I mean. So this is the Shadim, right? Or not, right? Which is A-N E-Y-N. To her. Mm-hmm. Now that's also found at the end of the Hebrew word El-Ah-Ah. What does that mean? Almighty to her? Or Almighty her? I don't know. You don't seem to want to know either, right? Then it goes back to the Shaddai act as well. So let's go back. If she is a wall, we will build a turret of silver on her. And if she is a door, now let's see what door they used. This is, again, Dalath, or Dalath, and it too has the double D, and was also used of Job's mother, right? In the Hebrew. So, is she yet a door until she's pregnant? No. You're not a door until you're pregnant with child, right? But Jesus also said, I am the door. I told you that already. And if any man come in and out, he shall find pasture. Of the womb. I know. He said that in a parable which John left it to you to discern. Right? He's also the shepherd with a staff and a door that we can enter in and out of, metaphorically and literally, through the womb and vagina of Jesus as well. Mm-hmm. Right. And this is he, H-I-Y, Aleph. We will enclose upon her, and that again is Leia, boards of cedar, Ani ha o ma, a wall, Bashad, or shawl, da, e, like towers. Then I became in his eyes as one finding peace, right? And that shalom, right? A vineyard was to Solomon at Baal Harmor. Hamun, I'm sorry. For some reason they have it as Hamor, but it's not, right? It's Hamun, right? He gave the vineyard to keepers. Each man was to bring for its fruit 1,000 of silver. My vineyard is to me, which is before me. The 1,000 is for you, O Solomon, are listening for your voice, cause to me hear it. Flee, my beloved, and be like a gazelle. Or a young deer, the stag on the mountain of balm spices. And that's how it ends, right? And like I said, though, this version, right, has a few more breaths in it, right? In verse 8, Mastuus is used again, right? But in verse 10, Mastui, right, it goes back to more singular than both, right? Though here it's used in verse 8 and 10. Same as here. And like I told you, you've been brainwashed by men playing that their image is God's image when we're both a part of it. And they've deceived us all. Every Christian who says God is a man is a liar. And I have to call you what you're doing. A liar. And all liars will have their part in the lake of fire, whether you know it or not, right? Does God excuse you when you refuse to learn the truth? It can't, right? That's why I don't know how Jesus will save you. Some of you aren't saved. I don't know. Right. But pretend you are saved, right? And I don't care how many times I show you this, right? Or how many different ways, right? If you refuse to see it, as it truly is said, right? You will go to hell. You won't go to heaven. I know. You can't. You're not being worthy of the truth, right? And anyone who says you can, again, is lying to you. Now you see this word is spelled like the word in Revelations, except it has an S. Right? That's different than mastos, even if idiots want to pretend it's spelled like that when it's not. And John wrote it, so you're screwed. You're screwing yourself. Not me. No. My job is to warn you what you don't know, right? Not to tell you what you want to know. Even if I'm the least popular on the planet, right? I can't let that bother me, right? Even if it bothers you, it don't bother me. It still don't bother me, right? And you can't call the police on me. You can't act like I'm doing nothing wrong, right? When I'm not, right? And they can't arrest me without a real charge, right? And going up to eat at the Huddle House ain't a real charge. If I'm playing by the rules, you can't charge me for something I'm not doing, whoever the hell you are. Or you're sinning and going to hell quicker, right? Or slower, whatever. And like I told you, all of the prophets speak the word of God, even if you try to kill us, right? Or black us out, right? For no reason. I know. That's our job, right? Whether it's popular or not, whether you like it or not, Christ died for your sins and mine, right? In one body. He died as one man for many, including you, including Joyce, including the female. That's why men are too carnal to see past their own image, right? Which that Satan blinded them. The God of this world blinds them to the image of Christ that they cannot see it and live. Not God himself or itself, right? They think they can undo the scriptures as well. They almost want to destroy them as if they weren't ever written. Well, this will give them a reason, if nothing else does, right? To try and do that, right? But all I need is Revelations 1 and Isaiah 60:16. Right? They're saying the same thing about kings with breasts, right? That's two witnesses, right? Not one. I don't need another man to agree with me. Not really. But I also don't go by myself to Jerusalem or anywhere, right? I'm being forced to preach this from my home, right? And there's nothing wrong with what I'm saying, right? It's not a sin to say it, right? Is it? Right? No. That means the third that are following Satan are the men, right? And they're following their animal spirit, not the spirit of a man of God, right? Who knows God is not a man. And it don't bother him. He accepts Christ as greater than him as both male and female. It's carnal men who can't see that, right? Like again, Emperor Constantine, and the Orthodox being. They're trying to lord over you. And they're playing God to you, which is why they die too. Right. I know. So have a nice day.